And then also in closing, I would have restated your points and wrapped up again stating the call to action. I like how you gave ideas and you explained how you go towards what you want out of life and out of your career. And I really enjoyed how you related your family members, your husband and your son, in your story as well. Again, I think you had an awesome speech. You presented yourself very well, and you came across to me as being very confident and well-researched your topic.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next on the agenda, we're going to have Scott Shire do the evaluation of Gwen.
Well, Gwen, as always, you've got great eloquence and great presence coming out to speak with us, and it's just, you're captivating in that booming voice and in your just general characteristics, carrying yourself out in front of us. It's captivating. You've got natural talent there. I feel that with the speech, though, you might have relied a bit heavily on the natural talent and not so much on really thinking through the organization for the speech coming into it. One of the key parts for the speech, it was called to evaluate you on organization coming in. And I was trying to follow you through it in writing down the different order of items going through what we need to know to overcome our, actually I'm not exactly sure what we were overcoming, our weaknesses, our becoming forgiveness. It started off with thinking of a negative situation where we had conflict with somebody, but not really how do we deal with that. Part of it was you gave us 3 steps, don't avoid it, and that was part of the thinking about it. Then forgiving them, asking for that forgiveness, and then repenting. So you gave us 3 steps, but then you came back to give us 3 steps again, but in a different order and with different items. You started with number 2 about forgiving them being the first item, then number 2 was turning away. No, you said that was number 3, then you went back to the, number 2 was cognitive restructuring, and then you went to number 3 was interpret the situation. It became very hard to follow what the organization was, and I kept, what are the steps, what do we do? So rethinking that so that everything supports those 3 points. And the old military training I had was tell them what you're going to tell them, tell them it, and then tell them what you told them. And it should always be with the 3 point. And you had the 3 points, but then they shifted on you. So it might have been just me, but I had a hard time following through that. The one other part that I followed you, but I'm not sure everyone does, is using colloquial phrases like, are you a believer? Not everybody knows what you mean by that. Do I believe in fairies? Do I believe in coffee re-stimulating me? Do I believe in Jesus Christ? I don't know for sure what your definition of believer is, and it was never defined until at the very end where you said believe in God. But prior to that, it was used many times without a clarification. And so I'd be careful about using phrases that have unique circle meaning, or a unique meaning to a particular circle of people. But overall, the presentation still was captivating, and I think with just a little bit more polish on the order of presentation, you easily are a great motivator and great trainer, and carrying those skills along will, or giving those skills as a gift to those who are listening to you will be well received, and I think you're going to do great going along. So thank you for your time.
Okay, next on the agenda, we have Randy, who will give us his evaluation of Julie.
Oh, were you? I saw that really cool. Oh my gosh.
Julie, you look great, fabulous. You like your energy up here?
Yeah, I had that.
The thing you did was you asked a question that totally engaged the audience. About 90% of the people in here raised their hand that they own property, and for most of them more than 10 years. So you made a point right off the bat that I thought was important, that you brought it up that over a long-term property is gonna go up, even though we have downturns. Kind of like, don't worry about it, stay with it. If you can afford to keep it, keep it. So that was important. I thought that was great. Second one was your topic was well researched. You had multiple sources and too many for us really to keep track of.
Yeah, it's a
so
lot.
I totally understand that you as an expert have access to those resources to let us know what we're doing when we're asking you certain things. So I like that you brought it out on a nationwide basis, then you kind of brought it into a regional basis, and then you brought it locally into our area. So that was great. How well did the speaker support your point? You actually had multiple points, so it wasn't just one point. That real estate is just, there's so many aspects to it. And you have the ability to research specific areas. You brought several different areas in on the research. I like that. Your supporting material, even though you kind of held it up a little bit, you had the knowledge already without even holding that up. So you had that. Did the speaker vary the types of support material? Yes, you did. You set it out from like a national basis, again, a regional basis, and a local basis from the college locally here. You're very clear in what you were speaking about, even though there were many aspects to us, but you really let us know that your experience and your husband's experience, if we have questions, you're able to deal with it. Your speech was effectively organized. You went in order. Did the speaker take advantage of body language? Actually, you did. You could have done a little bit more of that. What could the speaker have done differently to improve the speech? Give us more time to be able to get more information out to us. That was fabulous. That's the only thing I can think of is that you had so much more to give. One of the things I liked about the speech is, and this is kind of a colloquial saying, I guess, that there's light at the end of the tunnel. And for the long term, holding or investing in real estate is a great deal.
Thank you.
Good job. Now it's my job to give us an evaluation of the meeting. And I'm on my toes this time. See, the more times we do these jobs, we get better at it, we learn, right? That's what we're to learn. All right. We were missing our...
Do we need a vote first?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
And call for a timer report?
I'm sorry.
Timer and vote?
Timer. Did everybody qualify?
Everybody qualified.
Okay. So take a minute and vote for the best evaluator.
And then pass it into Susie?
Susie over here is the
Yeah, pass me your
vote
vote.
counter.
You don't have to wait for us to vote. You can go on, but
Okay.
we just
All
need to
right,
be told to
okay.
do it.
Just getting my thoughts together. You got me.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
And you're back on the track here. All right. Scooter wasn't able to be here today, so once again, we had our core benefit people step forward, get the room set up, get the stuff passed out, take care of things. We kind of left a box up here and some things, so we didn't quite get that organized like we should have maybe. But still, people stepped up and took over and got us on time. We appreciate having our visitor Carol here, doing an excellent job at catching us. But that shows the improvement, because I think the first speech I gave, I was like 35 or 40 on bells. So we learned by doing this. topics. We had an excellent job there today. Again, she stepped forward because the table topics person could not do the assignment. Our all-counter, of course, is doing an excellent job. But she's had more experience than most of us too, right?
Right.
We had a little distraction because the steam cleaner guy is doing the sidewalks around the building, and during Pilar's, he happened to be out here in the back making lots of noise. And of course, she's a low speaker anyway, so, but you didn't let it bother you, so it was good. Our Toastmaster, which was her first time being Toastmaster, Cindy did an excellent job. Our evaluators have had some experience, so they did an excellent job again, giving some suggestions of how that may have been improved, also complimenting good parts of the speeches. So I would say they all three did an excellent job on all those points, bringing up what the speech was supposed to cover, how they were supposed to investigate, and so on. Again, I think we did an excellent job. One other suggestion, I just saw my note here. When you have, because we're getting speakers who are taking longer than 5 to 7 minutes, which we've all been through that, the speaker then should notify the Toastmaster that there's a longer speech. Also, they give them the title and the number of the speech, but they should also inform them that we have a longer speech. And if we wind up with 3 of us in doing longer speeches, then we need to readjust our schedule here so we can get out on time. So cut down on the table topics a little bit. And that's it.